Ain't no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come shut me down. Hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. I'ma rep my city and salute my town. Said ain't no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. I'ma hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. And I'm ready for whatever, and I still stand proud. Ain't no way. Who you think you kidding, dude? Never thought that I would do.
What up, though? It is your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313. I am back Tuesday nights, as always, at 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Had a nice little break Thanksgiving week last week, and got my grub on, and now it's back. It's great to be back talking wrestling. Before I introduce my guests, like I just mentioned, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you're on any of those platforms, make sure you check it out. Make sure you share this episode. As always, this episode is brought to you by WSN. If you have Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, or Roku, make sure you download the app. A lot of cool stuff on there. They got wrestling documentaries, wrestling pay-per-views, TV shows from other wrestling promotions in the indies, wrestling cartoons. They created a promotion from the WWE 2K game. So it's a lot of stuff on there. Also go to the website, thewrestlingsociety.com, where you could create a profile, check out all the cool content on there. Also go to the podcast room where you can listen to Wrestling from the 313, as well as other podcasts in the wrestling community. Also go to their Patreon page where you could join for free. A lot of cool stuff on there too. They also have membership options with a lot of cool stuff depending on which membership you got. And my guest today is he's actually, this is his second appearance. He was on Wrestling from the 313 a little over a year ago. You can catch him on TikTok, and he's also a co-host of the Square Circle Sessions. Rambo Lott, it's good to have you back. Welcome back to the 313.
Mike, I appreciate you bringing me back.
No
glad
problem.
I'm able to make a good impression to have a second try at this.
Hey, you know what? Hey, when you came on, I was, starting off too. So, we both was rookies when we were doing this, but it's great to have you back, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the invite.
No problem. So, since the last time you've been on, like I said, you were up and coming podcaster. You were trying to get in the game and get your feet wet. What's been happening since then?
Honestly, I took a break for a bit, just to really focus more on like my family and everything. And then I finally, once more started, like toward the beginning of the year, I started kind of thinking about trying my way of doing TikTok lives, where I don't just annoy my wife with all the wrestling talk that I do. I can talk to other people about it that share the same level of passion as I do.
Definitely.
And from that, it grew and grew and grew until back in October when we had the first episode of Square Circle Sessions.
Sweet. So how's that been? How's that experience been so far?
It is going great, honestly. Like, we record it live on TikTok. That way we have the chat interactions as well. And we're not like that typical, like, just run down the episode, recap it, talk about our thoughts. We also include our own little twist to it. Like, each individual member of this team, it's myself, Hannah, and Braden. All of us have our own little segments that we do. Hannah's usually is like a quiz or some trivia or whatever, just to kind of get your mind rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
Braden gives us an opportunity to fantasy book, say like, what if this happened or what if this was different?
Okay.
And then mine is usually like a guess the pay-per-view by the card or something like that. So having the chat inclusion with it has definitely helped it hit the ground running a little bit, get some traction.
Cool.
And I couldn't imagine doing it any other way.
That's what's up. And make sure y'all check out the YouTube page. I subscribed to y'all page a couple of days ago. So,
awesome.
Definitely have to show some love. And you the podcast is also on Spotify, correct?
Yes, we are on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
That's what's up. Cool. So what's What's been your favorite episode since you started the Square Circles Sessions podcast?
Let's see. My favorite episode. I'm gonna go with episode 6. A couple of weeks ago, that was either 6 or 7. One of them was we did a guess the pay per view at the end, and it was one of the hardest ones to do, and it ended up becoming like an inside joke with the three of us. It was insanely fun, and if you hear any background noise, I got my child running around here, so
Oh, it's all good.
just trying to make a little appearance. Hey, plug the podcast while you're at it. But no, I think either 6 or 7.
Okay, cool. That's what's up.
On the
So, as a podcaster, since you've been, doing this, what's your current state on pro wrestling from a podcaster's perspective? And has it been anything that's like stood out to you recently?
We definitely hit a rough patch in the month of October going into November. We hit a rough patch with like weekly episodes of WWE being just about the same thing, just different format.
Yeah.
Especially with the travesty that was WrestlePalooza. It was definitely kind of hard to stay involved with it, be active.
Yeah.
But I think now, once Survivor, like 2 weeks prior to Survivor Series to now, it is starting to like gradually go up.
Okay.
We just hit that really rough dead spot where it was just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. And you know what? We're gonna talk about Survivor Series in a little bit, because a lot of people weren't happy about it. So, we're gonna kind of break down the card and just talk about, some of the stuff that's happened and just the overall pay-per-view.
For sure.
And anybody that's watching, if you got any comments for me, comments for Rambo, questions, whatever, make sure you leave a comment and we'll have your question or comment on the show. So
I am happy to answer anything.
Same here. What do you think makes Square Circle Sessions stand out from the other wrestling podcasts that's out? Because it's a lot of them out here. Right?
Oh yeah. One thing that I really think that makes it stand out is we don't have just one or two people's perspectives.
Okay.
We have 3 entirely different outlooks. Sometimes all 3 of them are the same, but oftentimes all 3 of them are different. And so it's really nice to explore others' view on certain topics.
Definitely. So, if you could collaborate with any other wrestling podcasters or content creators, who would it be and why?
Honestly, for one, I guess it would go without saying Maven. Maven would be nice.
Okay. Yeah, I know, because I know he got his own podcast, right?
Yeah, he does. He's got a YouTube channel now that he's done for about a year now.
Okay.
He seems like, and Santi's app.
Okay.
He's shot to the moon over the last couple of years with his wrestling content on YouTube and his podcast. So something like that would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
And of course, here, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I appreciate the love. I think for me, definitely somewhere down the line, I would like to, be a guest on the Square Circle Sessions.
Absolutely.
But I think it's a couple. I know Chris Van Vliet would definitely be one.
Absolutely.
I would love to, either have him come on or I come on his show. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think Stone Cold Steve Austin. I would love to just sit down and, he asked me questions about wrestling and the same here. And then, while we talking wrestling, he got a beer, I got a beer. Maybe we take some shots of whiskey or whatever. I think it would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
He seems like a real down to earth, chill.
Absolutely.
And I'm trying to think of somebody else. Somebody else was right on that I can't think of. Maybe Busted Open with Bubba Webb and Mark Henry. I think that would be cool. Just to talk to them guys. You know, they got one of the top podcasts too. But you know, Bubba Ray being in ECW, and then Mark Henry, you know, being in the WWF during the Attitude Era and even
Yeah,
Attitude Era. So it'd be cool to just hear their perspectives and just hear their stories and stuff.
absolutely.
So what can listeners expect from you and the Square Circle Sessions? Any upcoming projects or goals you guys got?
So next week will be our 10th episode that we've done, and 10th consecutive. We're trying to do at least one a week. We're about to break it down to 2 just to help with time constraints and everything.
Yeah.
But honestly, come in expecting a laugh. We always say some like off the wall things. Try to have some fun, you know. There's so much negativity in this world, even in the wrestling community.
Yeah.
Come in, have a laugh, forget about the BS going on outside.
Yeah, definitely. And you're definitely right. It's a lot of negativity in the wrestling community. I think, especially when it comes down to people's favorites, especially the AEW fans versus the WWE fans. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think make it toxic. It's all that discussion is almost as bad as the Michael Jordan, LeBron James discussions. Like,
And if I may, the tribalism between WWE and AEW is what makes wrestling fans as a whole look bad.
Yeah,
because you have those that will absolutely glaze what AEW is doing and trash what WWE is doing, and vice versa. When at the end of the day, it's wrestling.
Yep.
You're not a wrestling fan. You're a WWE fan or an AEW fan.
Yeah.
If you're a wrestling fan, then you'll appreciate the product no matter how it's booked, no matter what storylines are being played. You still have people going out there in the ring and busting their ass for your entertainment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I've got an immense amount of respect for that.
Oh yeah. And it's just like with some of the stuff that I read on social media when they be going back and forth, like the whole funny part is when people take pictures of like WWE or AEW shows when they're just opening up the gates and people are coming in, and then they try to say this thing that the shows that sell out, but when you're watching it on TV and you can't see an empty seat on the show. So it's just like stuff like that is just like, it's petty and uncalled for, in my opinion.
It really is. And it's more or less like, I'm trying to think of the right terminology for it. It's honestly just overall the IWC itself. The internet wrestling community, you can find some great people in it. I sure have.
Definitely.
But for every good person you find some like toxic individuals that don't know anything besides sitting there and being a fan. They've obviously never stepped foot across the barricade.
Yeah.
And try to fantasy book things that are either A, impossible, B, doesn't make any sense, or C, all of the above.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely agree with that. And hopefully, you know, somewhere down the line, I don't think it's gonna happen that, you know, like you said, all this tribalism and just the back and forth. Because at the end of the day, it's wrestling, and everybody got their own different. Both companies got their different style.
Exactly, and I'll be first to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of AEW. I'm not, but I still respect the product for what it is.
Yeah,
I don't agree with their booking, their stories. Tony Khan signing people for 2 weeks and then letting them sit in catering for the rest of their contract. But you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who it is. They're still going in that ring and living somebody's dream.
The one thing that I would say about AEW is that I would say that AEW has helped give like some of those top indie stars the exposure that they weren't getting before AEW was formed.
Yeah.
You know, guys like the Young Bucks, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Unless you were somebody that just watched New Japan Wrestling or watched like a lot of stuff in the indies, you didn't really know about them unless you read about them or stuff like
Right.
that. So I think AEW was good for giving people the exposure to them, as well as Kenny Omega and some of the other stars from like New Japan and in the Indies.
Right.
I would say it's more. I don't want to say it's an Indies. It's like a big Indies television show, but it has an Indies feel to it.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
with the pro wrestling entertainment. So I feel like it gave guys exposure that wouldn't get the exposure not being in WWE, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it is definitely like AEW almost kind of. I don't want to I use this term loosely, and I know people might come at me for this, but I almost see AEW in a sense of like almost like a developmental. It's like to a certain degree, not exactly entirely, because you do have the people like Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page and people like that, Bryan Danielson, et cetera, et cetera. But for the guys coming up, trying to make their name on the wider spectrum of wrestling, AEW is basically like that good start.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, and what you're saying makes sense because, I mean, honestly, if you look at what's happened with Jade Cargo since she's left AEW, like, she became a bigger star.
Yeah, it definitely took her a year or so to really get there, but definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Cody Rhodes, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he helped start AEW, left AEW to go back to WWE, and he's a bigger star than.
Yeah, and I mean the same thing could be said with like Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, Blake Monroe. The list goes on.
Definitely. So we about to get into Survivor Series. A lot of people weren't happy with it. Definitely wasn't happy with the end. My opinion on it, I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't like, I don't think the show was trash, but it was just kind of like, it didn't have that excitement factor that I thought it was gonna have.
Exactly. Like with me, like I mentioned this on the last episode of the podcast because we just went over Survivor Series. I was like, it was far from my favorite, but it wasn't the worst. Yeah. I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Like I seen the heels winning in the main event, but I'm kind of tired of the whole masked man shtick that they've been doing.
Yeah.
It seems like for every main event that they don't have a definitive finish to, they'll send somebody in under a mask.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it was okay at best.
Yeah. For me, and I've always said this, since they've been doing the women's War Games matches, I always thought the women's War Games matches were better than the men's. I think the men's
absolutely.
I think the men's always got the main event just on the story, just because of the storyline.
Yeah.
But for the first time that I could say this, I didn't really like. The women's War Games match for the first time was just kind of like, it was all right.
Yeah, like I enjoyed getting to see AJ Lee.
Yeah.
And her inclusion into it. Of course, we can't go without mentioning Io Sky's trash can spot.
And we all knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, absolutely. And I get hype every single time.
Definitely.
Io Sky is my favorite women's wrestler of all on the planet right now. Not of all time, but I digress. But like it was definitely the best of the two War Games this year.
Yeah. And I would say for me, I think the bright spot for the women's match was Lash Legend. She made her that was her first match on the main roster. And I think she's gonna do pretty good. I think
Oh,
she
absolutely. She
was,
killed it.
yeah, she did. And it's gonna be interesting the pairing with her and Nia Jax. I think it's actually, a good pairing with those two. They both are, pretty tall or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that they could kind of be like that powerhouse of the women's tag team.
Yeah. Once they get like the ball rolling with a tag team, I could definitely see them being a threat to the tag team division.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the second match that happened on that card, John Cena, Dominic Mysterio. I think personally this was probably the best match of the show.
Absolutely. By far.
Just on the standpoint of Liv Morgan came back. She had everybody thinking that she was about to turn on Dominic, but she gave John Cena a taste of his own medicine.
Yep. Little callback.
Did the whole, switch the face up and kicked him in the groin, and Dominic, got his title back. And we got one more match with John Cena, and it's almost an end of an era.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
So I always say, because when we talk about the ghosts of wrestling, we talk about Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, Randy Orton sometimes. Sometimes we talk about Edge. John Cena, in my opinion, deserves to be in that GOAT talk.
He is definitely on my Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Okay.
Of WWE, I mean.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because of what really holds like close to me is, during the rough times, you had people leaving to jump over to TNA. And then once AEW started, people left there to go to AEW. Cena stayed the entire time.
Yeah.
And of course, I don't know anybody that enjoyed the Super Cena run in the early 2010s, but he was there every week.
Oh, yeah.
He paid his dues, and he made something out of nothing that he was given back in 2002.
That's true. But you know what? The Super Cena run was no different than Hulkamania.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, honestly, like, John Cena was this era's Hulk Hogan. Yeah, and that's the only way to say it. Like, his shirts, his merchandise sold like crazy. The stuff that he was doing outside of the ring, the Make-A-Wish stuff.
Absolutely.
I think that, he made his name as like one of the best wrestlers to cross over to like entertainment, movies, television shows, and stuff like that.
Now, I've never really been a fan of his in-ring ability.
Yeah.
I've always said he is a much better performer than he is an actual wrestler.
Yeah.
So whenever I put him like on a Mount Rushmore, I put him up there as being like the greatest superstar of all time.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I say he's the LeBron James of pro wrestling or the WWE, or because when it comes to that GOAT talk, they do not want to put him in that GOAT talk. But he's got 17 world championships. Well, in WWE's terms, that's the record. But it's been said that Ric Flair's actually won 21, 22 world championships.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, John Cena's beaten the top guys. He's beaten Edge, Randy Orton, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. He's probably beaten Roman Reigns before Roman Reigns was the head of the table. He's beaten Seth Rollins. He's beaten everybody, and he's won every championship in WWE. So
every single accomplishment that you can get in the WWE, John Cena has now officially won.
Definitely, and not just that, Royal Rumble. He won Money in the Bank. He's main evented WrestleMania, so it's
multiple time Elimination Chamber. The only one that he hasn't done is King of the Ring, but that's not really necessary right now.
Yeah.
It's really never been necessary. Because if John Cena wanted a title match, all he'd have to do is say, "Hey, I want a title match."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the third match that they had, and honestly, they could have put this on Monday Night Raw. Stephanie Vaquera and Nikki Bella. I understand they trying to give Stephanie Vaquera, opponents, and they kind of, trying to build her up as a fighting champion.
Mm-hmm.
But it was no way in the world that I was going to believe that Nikki Bella was going to beat Stephanie Vaquera.
No, and I love Stephanie Vaquera.
Yeah.
But I think, and I've said this before, I think Nikki Bella is still stuck in the like Divas era.
Yeah.
With her wrestling skill and her character.
Yeah.
There is really no character.
I agree.
I think she's still like, instead of being a women wrestler, she is still like, honestly, I could still see the diva in her.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no change there. And obviously with the roster that we've got on the women's side of things, there is definitely a significant change from what it was in her era to now.
Yeah.
And I've never really been the biggest fan of her wrestling. She was never really able to really sell me like, oh, is she actually going to like, in a wrestling match, you want to have the fans like really get behind you and see like, okay, there's a good chance he's going to get this.
Yeah.
Never had that with Nikki.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say, and I was just thinking about this when I was watching Survivor Series. It's like, I could respect them putting her in the Hall of Fame, but I think she did it as far as like putting the Divas on the map mainstream, like with Total Divas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that I could see why they're in the Hall of Fame for that reason. But as far as the wrestling, I couldn't tell you a classic Nikki Bella match. I think that they would have been better if they would have tried to just bring Brie back and let them have a short run as the women's tag team champions.
And honestly, the fact that we have the Bella Twins in the Hall of Fame before Victoria is actually quite insane to me.
Victoria and Jazz.
Yes.
Because I definitely think both of them definitely deserve
the fact that neither of them are in the Hall of Fame, but the Bella Twins is quite absurd to me.
Real quick, we got a couple of comments. Braden Ball 475, he left a comment on YouTube. I guess he was saying Survivor Series, it was middle of the pack.
Yep.
I definitely agree with that.
What up, Braden?
B-Ball CR, Nikki Bella is waiting for the Total Divas reunion.
Yeah. Braden is one of the co-hosts for Squared Circle Sessions.
That's what's up. Shout out to Braden.
Yeah.
Appreciate you leaving a comment. And let's get to the main event. The men's War Games match. A lot of people weren't happy with the ending. The big thing in this match, before we talk about the big thing that happened, a lot of people was really tripping about this. Jey Uso yeeting in the middle of the War Games match. Like, a lot of people was really, really, really mad about that. And it sounded like you wasn't too happy about that either. What's your thought on that?
Whenever he won the world title, or whenever he won the Royal Rumble, or even at the beginning of this main event character, running it back, okay, that's great. But after it being done every single week of him making his entrance, one of, if not the longest entrance of the night, stopping for a minute, letting the crowd go crazy, and then running it back, I'm done. I'm tired of it. I've been there live for quite a few of them, and I can only listen to that theme song so much more.
You know what? As crazy as it is, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it bring it brings a different energy. I feel like the character need to take a change. Like it need to change up a little bit.
Yeah,
Gonna talk about that in a little bit. But him doing that in the middle of war games, that was a little too much for me. You know
that
what
was
I'm saying?
insane.
And then it's like you know, you guys, y'all supposed to be going to war. You know what I'm saying? I know they was trying. I know WWE probably was like, yeah, go ahead and do it and try to make things fun. But
I understand it from a perspective of getting the crowd behind you and getting it going.
yeah,
But when you're trying to sell that you are going to war in one of the most grueling matches of the year,
yeah,
stopping in the middle of the match to get on top of the war game structure and yeet and have the music and the lights and everything, it's like, all right, it's a little far fetched.
and then and the crazy part, he was doing that, and the team that they were going up against was a pretty good team. I mean, you
Oh
got
yeah,
Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. You know what I'm saying? That's a really
yeah,
good team. So and I know everything. Is storyline and stuff like that, but a story like that, you want everybody to take it serious. And
right,
and the way Jey Uso been in the last couple of weeks, he want to be taken serious and stuff. So,
yeah. And honestly, like, I don't think I've ever been more excited to hear Brock's music.
hey,
I heard it and I was like, all right, good.
I'm just glad. I'm just glad that when he came out this time, he didn't fall.
Yep.
So, the one big thing that happened before the War Games match ended was a guy dressed in all black climbed the cage, hit CM Punk with the curb stomp to kind of make everybody think it was Seth Rollins. Climbed out the cage and ran off. And after the match, if you get on the internet and watch see the articles and stuff, that they said it is Austin Theory. What are your thoughts on just that? The guy coming out in all black, interfering in the match, and Austin Theory possibly being the guy.
So I made a joke last night with the podcast when we were talking about this. I told him, I said, watch, it's going to be Omos. As a joke, obviously, but I could definitely see it being Austin Theory.
Yeah, but it's messed up because it's like it's not gonna be a surprise. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the whole thing with when you do stuff like that, have a mass person come out and going further ahead along in the story, like who is this person, and then for it to be leaked on the internet, it kind of take the suspense.
That's why I do not like the IWC for stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's, nothing can be suspenseful anymore.
Nope.
You can't have speculation. It's always leaked.
Definitely.
That's why, like, last week's episode of SmackDown, I couldn't watch because it was pre-taped.
Yeah.
And all over social media, it's like, oh, well, this happened and this happens. Like, I don't want to know, but it happens. You just start scrolling through like Facebook and you end up seeing it.
Yeah. And then this is just like it just take the whole suspense out, because it's now is at this point. Does WWE creative, do they change the person that was that was dressed in black and then find another way to bring Austin Theory in, since it's already been leaked, and possibly add another member to the vision?
Like, I wish I had a better answer, but I personally don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's a small part of me that's like, well, maybe they'll pivot a little bit since, it's getting out and they still want that shock factor.
Yeah.
But judging how booking has been over the last number of months, I can definitely just see them running with it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Cause it's just like now, cause as soon as Survivor Series ended, I think maybe within an hour or two, it was a story that came out that the masked man, that the man dressed in black was Austin Theory, and it's just like, wow, y'all just gonna just spoil the surprise, like, cause now whenever they decided to take the mask off of whoever, and this Austin Theory, it's just gonna be like, oh, we knew this was happening weeks ago.
Exactly. And you that's the thing is like you can't hide nothing anymore. In
Yeah,
this day and age of social media, you can't hide anything. I think the last genuine surprise I've had, honestly, I think was when Punk came back.
I would say when Punk came back, and I would probably say when John Cena turned heel.
Yeah.
I would say those were like the last two real shock moments in wrestling, in my opinion.
And speaking on that, if I may, for just a quick second,
Oh, go ahead.
I see all over the internet about how the heel run was ruined. It was trash, shouldn't have happened, whatever. Here's my put on it. The run wasn't bad. It was the plot to the run and the payoff that wasn't there.
I agree. I agree.
In that run, we had a great feud with Cody. Match wasn't necessarily great, but the feud with Cody, with Randy, with Punk, awesome. We got some John Cena promos that we wouldn't have heard otherwise.
I agree.
And I think the reason why it gets trashed on a lot is because it didn't have a payoff.
Yeah.
And that's where my frustration lies. It's like, we had John Cena sell his soul to The Rock, and we haven't seen The Rock since that night. And maybe 2 mentions of him on TV in the last 11 months.
Yeah. And I think also people were also upset about the John Cena R-Truth story too.
Yep.
I definitely think that they should have put more into that story, because I would have loved to saw a match, John Cena versus R-Truth for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, not that like little exhibition match at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, yeah. And even at Saturday night's main event, I think that Truth should have got the win, even if it wasn't a pinfall, maybe like a count out or a DQ or something like that. I think Truth should have got the win to kind of further the storyline and put Cena in a situation to win, to defend the title or something like that. But I think they dropped the ball on that a little bit. They could have did that story.
They definitely could have. But as far as, all the people saying that the whole run itself was pretty bad, I disagree. He made a kid cry, for goodness sake. Yeah. He, in Brussels, Belgium, the first episode of Raw after the heel turn, he made a innocent child a meme.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Braden says we got Cena versus R-Truth, but we should have gotten Cena versus Ron Killings. Yes.
That too.
Cena versus K-Quick would have been amazing.
And then even with R-Truth, like, they didn't do nothing with that character. Like
nope.
They cut him, and then when people were upset that he got cut, they brought him back. He did the Ron Killings thing, and it just
he was released on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
On my 23rd birthday, I woke up to news that he was released from the WWE. I'm like, what in the hell is this?
Right. We got another comment from Braden. He cut his hair off, did the whole promo, and nothing was done with it.
Exactly.
I totally agree.
There was so much potential. And that's been the running issue with R-Truth, is there's so much potential there to do something.
Yeah.
But nothing is being done.
I agree.
Because he's good in the ring.
Yeah, definitely.
He can gut a good promo. His heel work in 2011 wasn't bad.
No, definitely wasn't.
Do something and run with it.
Because that's when he was with the Miz.
Yeah.
And that's when they were in that tag match with John Cena and The Rock.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit, some couple topics from Raw. The last time is now semifinals. LA Knight, Jey Uso. LA Knight ended up getting the win. After the match, Jey Uso kind of, spazzed out, was upset with himself or whatever. Now that you saw after this happened, this breakdown or whatever he had, where do you think they go with his character now?
I'm hoping for a heel turn, honestly, because I think it's about time, because I genuinely think that this shiny babyface character that Jay's got has run stale. There's really not much more that can be done with it without the worry of repetition.
Mhm.
But I would definitely like to see a heel turn of some sort. Whether they try to have him basically follow in Roman's footsteps in the early days of the Tribal Chief era, or go back to right-hand man Jay.
And
Not necessarily be the right-hand man, but that kind of bravado.
Yeah. Could you see a possible, like, full-time reunion with him and Jimmy, them being a tag team again?
I would love to, because I think Jay worked better with a tag team.
Okay.
As a single star, he's had some good matches as a single star. I'm not going to discredit him on that. But his work in the ring was a lot more believable whenever he was a tag team.
That's fair. That's fair.
And like him and Jimmy had that perfect dynamic duo, especially during like the Uso penitentiary times.
Yeah.
When Jay would take the mic and Jimmy would be like the muscle of the group, for lack of a better term. They worked together perfectly. But them splitting off, it really is not doing a whole lot for Jay.
Yeah. It did some for Jay, but it didn't do nothing for Jimmy.
No, and Jimmy's been left on the back burner, and I really don't like that.
Yeah, and I've always said this on the podcast that I've jumped on, whether it was mine or I was a guest on someone else's. They never gave Jimmy a chance to make his own character, to create his own character or his own identity. I feel like his character was always feeding off of Jay's momentum.
Yeah,
You know
and yeah, you had like in the last 2 years that the Usos have been split up. Jay's won 2 singles titles, a Royal Rumble, and a marquee match at WrestleMania. I can't.
The tag team titles with Cody.
Yep, the tag team titles with Cody. I can't remember any like big marquee deal that Jimmy has done.
Yeah, because he always kind of been like the right hand man. It was at one point he was the one taking all the cheap shots by like whoever the bloodline was beefing with at the time. So it's like they never really gave him a chance to like, okay, let's see what you could do. Create you a character, create your own character. So it don't seem like you J 2.0 or whatever.
Right.
But
if they were to do a reunion of some sort, that would be great, because I feel like if they were to do that and stick to Raw, I feel like the Raw tag team division definitely could use it.
Oh yeah.
But if they were to go their separate ways and end up getting another match, I don't want a repeat of WrestleMania 40. That was the worst match on the card.
Honestly, I wouldn't even mind them reuniting as a tag team, but with the Jey Uso entrance. I would be cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think at this point that probably would be better for them.
It really would. It's like you don't want Jay to run completely stale to where it's almost like, oh, it's this again. Because that's kind of what we're getting to at this point with the singles Jay push. It's, okay, we're running back the same stuff. Like, one of my biggest fears especially since Sheamus got injured in the tournament, I was worried that it was going to be Jay and Gunther in the finals.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really don't care to see that. We've had it a lot in the early part of this year.
That's true. That's true.
And quite a few last year with the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am excited to see Gunther and LA Knight. But with Jay, I'm hoping that we get some sort of character change.
Yeah.
If he were to stay face and like kind of play, not necessarily like the anti-hero,
Yeah.
but change it up just a little bit.
And I think that's what's probably going to happen because, first of all, I don't think WWE is going to cut the plug on the whole yeeting and everything.
No, because that has definitely catered to the younger demographic.
Not just that, too, but he's probably selling a lot of merchandise, too.
Oh, absolutely. Them glasses, them shirts.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think I could see his character having like a darker or a little edge to him, but still doing the yeet, but not as much.
Right. Not doing it in the middle of a War Games match. Absolutely.
Definitely. So, speaking of the last time it's now tournament, we talked about Jay and LA Knight. We all knew Gunther was going to be solo. Ain't even no reason to like really get into that. The finals is going to be LA Knight, Gunther. We know Gunther is going to win this. What's your thoughts on the finals?
Now, the Gunther and Solo match was a lot better than I was anticipating.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And that helped me realize Solo can sell his ass off.
Yeah.
He sold them chops like it was like deadly shots. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So kudos to Solo for that. But I'm not opposed to Gunther facing Cena.
Oh,
because with his character, that like right now, that is the perfect heel that could match John Cena's energy.
Yeah.
John, like honestly, he's probably the best one mic wise that can hang with Cena.
Oh yeah,
that's not like a CM Punk or a Randy Orton. Like out of the people that were involved in the tournament on the microphone, Gunther has the best opportunity, like mic work with Cena, and they both have the good ability to match each other's skill level.
I agree. And the thing that for me that's tripped out is like they made these announcements that Cena he's already made his last Raw appearance or made his last SmackDown appearance. How's the build up to his final match? How's that gonna go if he's already made his last appearance on Raw and on SmackDown? Unless they do a video or something.
Either a video be done, or honestly, it's just Gunther going out and talking shit.
Yeah.
That's really the only real like way that I could see that being built. And Gunther is capable of doing such.
Yeah.
He is very capable of playing that really good villain on the mic.
Yeah.
So that would be the only real way, unless Cena was to like pull a fast one over us and be like, "Hey, just kidding, I'm here." I want to hear him drop a fine speech on Gunther just once.
Yeah.
Because you know when he says fine speech, his opponent's done.
Right, definitely.
They don't stand a chance. And you know, my pick obviously was taken out due to injury. My pick was Sheamus.
Okay.
Reason why is because and obviously this didn't happen, but in my fantasy booking mind, I was like, okay, Cena wins the IC title, Sheamus wins the tournament, Cena drops the title to Sheamus on his way out, because on December 13th, 2009, Sheamus beat Cena for his very first WWE title.
Yeah.
I seen it being on December 13th, 2025, Sheamus beat Cena for his very first IC title and took Cena's last title. That's kind of how I had that playing out. Obviously, that didn't happen, and I'm not upset about it because I know it's not anybody's fault. Wrestling's a dangerous game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So who do you think is going to end up winning the tournament? And do you think Cena should win his final match, or you think he should put somebody over?
I think Cena should go out on his back.
Okay.
As a final, like, passing of the torch to the next generation. Not necessarily to, and my pick is definitely Gunther. I would not be opposed to them pulling a fast one and throwing LA Knight in there.
Yeah.
Having LA Knight go over. I don't see that happening. Let me make that very clear to those listening. I don't see that happening. But I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, and I feel the same way too. And I think if LA Knight was to win the tournament and then go on to beat John Cena, I think that he would have a lot of bragging rights for a while. Like
Absolutely.
He could say in his promos, like, "Hey, I beat John Cena in his final match." Like,
and plus, that would be a perfect capitalization on the level of popularity LA Knight reached in late 2023 and early 2024.
yeah.
Because some would say he was the hottest commodity in WWE.
Yeah.
And the only thing they gave him was the US title that went really nowhere.
Yeah.
But capitalizing on that popularity, having Knight do it would basically say, like, okay, here you go. It's not a world title, but here's the next best thing.
Yeah.
And retiring John Cena could be even better than a world title.
Yep. And I think when LA Knight was the US champ, I think what messed his run up when he lost to Nakamura. When he was hot, and when he lost to Nakamura and then won the title maybe 2 weeks later, and then lost it again to Jacob Fatu maybe a month and a half after before WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I think that's what kind of killed his run.
I wouldn't necessarily have been upset with him dropping it to Nakamura had Nakamura would have actually been there.
Yeah.
Whenever he was holding the title, he hasn't shown up but maybe twice.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And if he was going to drop it to Jacob, that would have been fine. Yeah. But giving LA Knight a little bit more of a actual run with it would have definitely been better.
Yeah. Because it's honestly like nobody, like, since WWE has had the U.S. title, like, outside of John Cena and what he did with the Open Challenge, the U.S. title don't really have that prestige as the Intercontinental title as long as it had. Like, of course, the Intercontinental title has lineage, it has history, but it's just like the U.S. title just been the U.S. It's just been the title. Like, and I feel like Cena was the only one that kind of put like some prestige to it.
With that, like, I'm definitely on the bandwagon now, especially with Ilya Dragunov holding it.
Yeah,
I do like the open challenges because it gives people an opportunity to have some TV time.
Yep.
To show their craft, and it also showcases the title.
Yeah.
Which is more than what we could say over the last year with really many of the mid-card titles.
I agree.
Like, it's showcased every week. It's defended every week. Now, if we were to do what we're doing now with the Intercontinental and the U.S. title, and we were to do that same method with the women's mid-card titles, it'd be great.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And the women's IC is definitely getting there.
Oh, yeah.
It is absolutely getting there. And Maxine Dupree has impressed me more over the last 3 months than she has in her entire wrestling career.
Yeah.
She has very clearly gotten better. But with the women's U.S. title, that's where it really needs work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And speaking of Maxine Dupree, she had a vignette with Natalya. What did you think of those vignettes?
I love it. It shows like they're kind of trying to get rid of that like cheerleader like gimmick that Maxine's had for the longest time with Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
Finally giving her her own identity.
Mhm.
And honestly, training with somebody like Natalia is the best option you've got.
That's true.
Because not only do you have a legend in herself being Natalia, but you also have the Hart lineage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, you had Stu, and then you had Brett and Owen, then you had Jim the Anvil. Now you have Natalia.
Yeah.
You know, there is decades worth of knowledge that she's now bestowing onto Maxine, and it is definitely showing.
Yeah.
And with these vignettes, it kind of makes me wonder if we're getting like instead of like really Natalia, the Queen of Hearts gimmick, are we getting like the Natty Neidhart that we've been seeing on like
AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so.
That's been badass recently.
Yeah.
Like
he's also been doing that outside of WWE. What's that? Blood sport?
Yeah.
Yup. So I would definitely love to see her do something like that. I think the Queen of Hearts thing, like I know she does that because of her family and stuff. But I would love to see her like her character take another like a different twist.
Yeah, and like honestly, like Natty Neidhart just sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age, it's like, you're kind of paying back to previous generations with Jim the Anvil and Bret Hart and everything, but you have Natty's own personality to it, not just the woman in pink with cat ears. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely. So let's talk about the Judgment Day. So the Judgment Day, they came out, had a little promo. Dominic talked about, just basically talk junk after getting his title back. Liv Morgan came out and she basically said Judgment Day is about to run WWE again. Something that Rhea and Damian Priest always used to say. For some reason, and I think this is gonna happen down the line. I think we're gonna see a split in the Judgment Day.
I think we need to.
Yeah. I think it's already a power struggle, and it's not even with Dominic and Finn Balor. It's with Finn Balor and Liv Morgan.
Yep.
And I think that's where the split is gonna go. You're gonna have most of the group I think is gonna side with Finn Balor, and I think you're gonna see Liv and Dominic possibly turn babyface and go up against the Judgment Day. Now, the only wild card in this whole story is going to be Raquel Rodriguez.
Yep.
Is she going to side with Finn and, continue her relationship with Roxanne? Or is she going to roll with Liv Morgan, the person that she didn't won tag team titles with? So this is what I see coming. And just with the promo yesterday, just kind of the way Finn was looking and how Roxanne was looking, I could see that coming in a few months.
Now, like the Judgment Day has definitely lost its aura, so to speak, over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as it was. Obviously, from a physical perspective, you don't have Rhea and Damian.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that, like, I don't want to say like mystique.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the word that I'm leaning towards.
Yeah.
And
I definitely get what you're saying, because now they just seem like a bunch of just the cool kids in high school.
Yeah.
And
like you have the cracks that's been shown for the last little while. Now it's just waiting, like, okay, are they actually going to pull the trigger on it?
Yeah.
Or is this going to be one of those that like they plant the seeds for and then don't touch on again for months?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like the way that I would see it working out is I would much prefer to see Dom and Liv stay heel because Liv has done her best work since joining Dom in the Judgment Day. She has done her absolute best that she's ever done.
That's true. That's true.
And Dominic is such a good, like, chicken shit heel that it just works.
Yeah.
And no matter, like, hate him or love him character-wise, you can always get behind Finn Balor because of what he's able to do in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, like, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, him and, not necessarily him and JD stay a team, but still kind of be on the same page.
Yeah.
But I would love to, if I were to see Dominic lose that title, I think Finn would be the best person to drop it to. And it would make sense because Dominic pinned Finn to win that title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Not the second reign, obviously, but just overall.
Yeah.
So Finn could be, like, kind of play, not necessarily play it like, you did this, you turned on me first.
Right.
But that's definitely kind of the direction I could see it going. And I wouldn't be opposed to it. Now, as far as Raquel and Roxanne, I don't know.
Yeah.
Those really are like the wild cards there.
I could definitely see them like somewhere before any type of split. I do see them possibly winning the women's tag titles. I feel like, I mean, nothing against the Kabuki Warriors, but how many times have we seen them win the tag titles? Like,
Yep.
And this like they set like third time or fourth time being women's tag team champions. I'm not even against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky just because just the last couple of months or whatever, just the dynamic that's been between and stuff. They seem to have a pretty good dynamic, but you know, eventually one is gonna turn on the other, and we're gonna see them in a match going one-on-one down the line. And
now,
go ahead.
Like with the I've been a really big fan of Asuka since her return.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This run that she's got going on, I think, is like, from a character perspective, one of the best that she's had in her tenure in WWE.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to see, like, trying to figure out where Kairi Sane's, like, loyalty lies between, is it going to be, like, my friend Io Sky that I have no issue with, or am I going to stay with Asuka?
Yeah.
That kind of, like, not necessarily loyalty issue, but where should I pledge my allegiance to?
Right. Yeah.
Friendship or this potential success?
Yeah. And I could see something. I could see the Kabuki Warriors eventually down the line splitting up, and we see a Kairi Sane and Asuka storyline too.
Yeah.
Because like you said, that's gonna be one of the things, like Kairi trying to, you know, have show her loyalty to Asuka, but then, you know, Io is kind of like her homegirl or whatever.
Yeah.
She's this good side about her. So, like you said, I think that's eventually like gonna blow up, and I think that's gonna definitely turn into a storyline.
Absolutely. I'd love to see it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I think this was probably the bright spot of Monday Night Raw. The Vision came out, Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. And Braun Breaker probably hit one of the most fire promos of the year. And you could tell, because I see that he mentioned, you know, him almost breaking his neck.
Yep.
And I saw that on the internet, and it was just like, ooh. So you could tell that there was some like
there was some heat behind it.
Yeah, there was some heat, and there was some realness behind his promo. Braun Breaker's gonna be a world champion. I don't think he's gonna be at Saturday night's main event. I think they're gonna put the belt on him on a bigger scale, possibly WrestleMania.
Yeah, like one thing that I want from Braun though is a little bit more of a character than just this badass. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like he needs to. Not everybody needs to have like a clear cut gimmick, but give him a little bit more to work with.
Right.
But that promo was Braun Breaker's absolute best promo that he's ever cut.
Yeah, I agree.
Like by the end of it, even I was like, holy shit, you know, like
Hey, even Logan Paul was like, dude.
Logan Paul's facial expressions in the background. I don't like Logan Paul, but I got to give him credit where it's due. He plays his part very well.
And he can wrestle. Like the one thing I respect about him, he's a person outside of wrestling, but he takes the craft serious. Like he could
Absolutely.
easily be one of them guys. Yeah, I'm Logan Paul. I'm this and that on social media, but then when he get in the ring, it's just like it's like watching, like I don't know, what's it, LeVar Ball in a wrestling match or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that is just doing it for the paycheck. Like he really takes wrestling serious. So that's one thing that I could give him props for. And I think he's just always gonna be hated because it's him and then his brother Jay Paul. I think they always gonna be hated.
Yeah, and you know, Logan's got definitely a bad track record on the internet with like some stuff that he's posted in previous years.
Oh, okay.
But I do have to give him credit where it's due. He took to this business a lot better than a lot of the newcomers.
Yeah, I agree.
He took to it quicker than a lot of people that has like been born into the business.
Yeah.
Like it took Dominic quite a while to find his footing.
Yeah.
To find his identity, find like something that doesn't just resemble him as Ray's son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Logan, right off the bat, it was okay, this guy can actually work. And he holds one of my favorite matches to this day, and that's him versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 39.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Match.
and yeah, of course, Seth carried him for a bit because, you know, Seth's the veteran. But Logan definitely held his own.
Yeah. I even say the match he had with Roman, what was that?
Crown Jewel
Jewel or something like
2022.
that. Yeah, I think that was good too. Like
That was awesome. Well, that's one of my favorite matches of Roman Reigns' title run.
now this is a controversial question. You think WWE ever put the world title on him?
Not yet. I don't think it's time yet.
Hey, because I always said it. I'm like, I could see him being the future world champion if he keeps staying on the path that he's going. He could be a world champion, and I think that would bring. It wouldn't be a bad decision because, like I said, like we've agreed he can wrestle, and then his impact on social media would be crazy.
Absolutely. And like whenever I say not yet, like I'd say give it a year, give it 2 years.
Yeah.
Give him a little bit more time to get some more matches under his belt because you can't unlearn things.
Yeah.
Each opportunity you have to step into the ring is an opportunity to learn more and more and more. Especially with the levels of talent that he's been in the ring with, like a Roman Reigns, like a Seth Rollins, like a Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Teaming with McIntyre, working with Randy Orton. You know, it's like he's got all these people that is proverbially taking him under their wing and teaching them.
Yeah.
If he has that for about another year, maybe 2 years, I could definitely see him holding the world title.
And then you got to think about this too. With him being in the Vision, he's working up under Paul Heyman. So you already know Paul Heyman is putting all types of knowledge in his ear. All those guys about to get better. I've
said this for years and years and years, and I don't think I'll ever change it. Paul Heyman is arguably the most brilliant man in professional wrestling.
Yep. outside of Vince McMahon, I definitely have to put Paul Heyman right up under there with Vince.
I put him as the number one greatest manager.
Yeah, yeah.
That's another thing. Like, and I'll go back to like the whole podcast thing and where I started with that because it ties in with this. Like I do ranking lists that I put up on TikTok, different subjects, WrestleMania matches, Hell in a Cell matches, stuff like that. And on my top 10 greatest managers list, Paul Heyman is number one.
Okay.
So with him being on the side with Logan Paul, with the levels of talent that Paul Heyman's already worked with, like a Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, even Curtis Axel in 2013.
Yeah. Cesaro,
Punk. You know, the list goes on. The sky is definitely the limit for Logan if he stays with Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Same with all of them.
Yep.
And whoever this mystery man is.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. If it ends up being Austin Theory being that mystery man, I think he's gonna learn too. But real quick, like let's just say if WWE decided to twist things up and it's not Austin Theory as the masked man, who would you like to see be the masked man?
So I don't necessarily see it as far as like physically because it didn't quite look like it. But if they decide to run the whole vision thing and include Cody involved in some way, shape, or form, I wouldn't mind seeing it be somebody like a Randy. If they were to keep Cody tied in with it in some way, shape, or form.
You know what? When I was watching Survivor Series and I seen the guy come in with the black outfit and stuff, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that kind of looked like Randy Orton the way he was kind of like standing, but I'm like, nah.
With the way that he scaled that cage, though, I don't think Randy can do it that quick and that clean.
Yeah.
At this stage in his career and his body, I'm not sure if he can. But I could see that definitely being a wild card.
You know what? I was thinking something. I don't think that this would be as box office. You know what? I don't know. But this would be a big turn or a big shocker. What if the guy that was in the mask, I wouldn't mind seeing like Montez Ford.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't mind seeing Montez Ford because I think that if he took off the mask and it was him, and then the next week or on SmackDown or whatever, and he do a promo, I think Montez Ford will put on a fire promo.
That would be I'd be so down for that.
And then you could kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of put him in that mid card, you know, kind of see where he at and stuff like that. I would do that.
That, and it would finally set up like an actual feud with Angelo Dawkins to give us that like Street Profits breakup.
Yeah. But then at the same time too, if they break the Street Profits up, I don't think that they need to do the typical tag team breakup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What I would do if when they do break the Street Profits up, just let it be something like, hey, if we lose, we've been on the losing streak. If we lose this match, we go on our separate ways.
Yeah.
They lose the match. And then after the match, they kind of in the ring, just standing around, crowd giving them a clap. They shake each other's hand, give each other a hug, and then they just go their own way. I would like to see them in like that instead of the typical this partner mad at this partner and he attack them and this and that. Like, because I think they both could do good as baby faces, and you know, I think Montez would be a good heel.
Right. He definitely could.
Definitely.
I'd love to see it.
I think if they wanted to like twist things around and not have Austin Theory as the black mask guy, I think they should consider Montez Ford.
I'm down. I'm down for that, definitely. As long as they like start it, like if it was to be the case,
Yeah.
start it and actually do something with it.
Yeah.
That's always been my worry with the recent booking is like they'll start something, and then kind of just move on from it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done that with a lot of wrestlers in the past, and
Yeah, like and the one that makes me think of is like 2024 between Chad Gable and Otis.
oh yeah.
You
And
know, if Otis would have actually flipped that switch and beat the piss out of Chad Gable, that would the hottest that they would ever be.
yeah, I agree.
That was one of the most like hot moments of Raw in 2024.
Yeah, I definitely
Was is Chad Gable going to push the right button? But they got close, but they never struck while the iron was hot.
Yeah.
And they kind of just moved from it.
And I think Otis, he could have been a real good mid Carter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they would have pushed him right, took a little bit of the silliness out, still had Akira Tozawa as like his homie. So like, you know, he could do his solo thing, but then if they want to switch it up and be a tag team, he'd still be there.
Yeah. Not necessarily give them the money in the bank briefcase like they did briefly back.
Hey, you know, it was during COVID, so you know they had to do anything that they possibly could to put on a show. And
I guess it's like, man, you had so many other people in that match.
that's true.
Otis was quite literally out of that field the last person I would have thought to win that.
Right.
Like you had AJ Styles, you had Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, Baron Corbin.
Yeah, you had it was definitely was a lot of good names in there.
Daniel Bryan.
Yup. Yeah. And then because they was running through the old headquarters and they had the top. Yeah, that's how you knew times was like tough during that COVID time. They was they were doing anything to like, hey, we go WWE is still gonna be going while during COVID.
They even went as far as having Baron Corbin throw Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black off the top of the building.
Oh yeah.
If I was younger and I didn't have the level of intelligence about wrestling as I do now, I would have thought he just killed them.
Right.
I'd have thought I would just seen straight double murder. Like
that would have been crazy right there. So
it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've seen though, unfortunately.
Oh, right.
There's been a lot worse.
So to close things out, I know you heard the announcement. TNA has a new TV deal.
Yep.
Next year they're going to AMC. What's your thoughts on the new TNA deal?
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they can make of it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's gonna be cool because now they're gonna be on a network that everybody will be able to see.
Yeah, it's on a like local, not necessarily a local channel, but if you don't have cable, you'll still get AMC.
Yeah, because I know the last TV did the last two. I know they were on Access and then Destination America or something like that.
Yeah,
and depending on what type of cable or streaming package you had, a lot of people didn't have Access or Destination America. So now that they are back on a network that's gonna give them that exposure, it's gonna be cool.
I'm down for it. I'm excited to see what happens with it.
And if you think about it, and I just thought about this, WWE is about to be on Monday through Friday. If you think about it, Monday Night Raw on Monday, NXT on Tuesday, you got Evolve on Wednesday. NXT is going to be on TNA, so that's going to be Thursday, and then you got SmackDown on Friday, and that's not even including Saturday and Sunday, you know, if they have a PLE.
Exactly.
So
there'll be a lot of wrestling to go through, but I'm here for it.
Hey, you know what? You can never have enough wrestling. That's just like saying it's too many movies. It's too much
Right.
music. It's too many basketball games. It's too much sports. You know what I'm saying? You can never have enough wrestling.
No, that's one thing that I can never really get tired of. I might get a little irritated with the product every now and then.
Right.
You know, we could I could definitely experience another John Cena and Brock Lesnar. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm happy for it.
Yeah,
They're going places. I'm entertained. They're doing their job, and it is wrestlers at the end of the day living out somebody's dream.
definitely. Real quick, I know you had talked about, you said that Paul Heyman was your number one manager, or your top managers of all time. If you really think about it, Paul Heyman might be the greatest manager of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
If you look at all the managers like Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart, Paul Heyman was like the only one to like manage world champions.
Yes. Paul
He's
Heyman is, and he can shift his like demeanor with whoever he's working with.
Yep. Yeah.
Like not necessarily be just the manager or the advocate, but he can change the way he delivers something.
Yep.
The way he delivers a promo. Whenever it's with Roman Reigns, he like puts over the bloodline, puts over the lineage that carries. When it's with Brock Lesnar, he sells the fact that Brock Lesnar is the number one combat sports athlete on the planet.
Yep.
You know, with CM Punk, the voice of the voiceless, the best in the world,
Yep.
and so on and so forth. You know, he is very versatile with who he works with.
Yep. And he's about to do the same thing with Braun Breaker, especially when he become the world heavyweight champion.
Exactly.
And this real. I just thought about this before we get out of here. So now they're also saying now that the matches that are penciled in for WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes versus Roman, Braun Breaker versus CM Punk. Now we kind of know who's going to win the Royal Rumble. It's either going to be Braun Breaker or Roman Reigns. Possibly Roman Reigns, because since the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi Arabia. And that's kind of like you said, it takes the internet and stuff, it takes that surprise factor out.
Yep.
And then I just wish that WWE would, well, they're kind of using it to push push a new star. If Braun Breaker is one of the favorites to be in the main event.
Yeah, and like honestly, I would be just fine if I didn't see another Cody Roman Mania main event.
Yeah.
I think that's already ran its course after WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
That's reached its peak. I don't see how it could get any better than what it did.
Yeah. And then
like or cinematic. That's the right word.
Right. And then honestly, I don't feel like another match between them two really needs WrestleMania. Like you could do it at SummerSlam. You could have did it at WrestlePalooza. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Hey, that would have made the card better.
Right.
Damn sure couldn't have made it worse.
We got another comment from Braden. Great show, fellas. Definitely gonna tap into wrestling from the 313 Michigan. Represent, baby. Appreciate it, Braden.
Hell yeah, Braden.
Definitely gonna check you guys out. Check out some of your episodes and show
absolutely. And I go live on TikTok about 3 nights a week.
Okay.
I do a little bit of everything. I do some gaming, do some wrestling content. Whenever I do my wrestling content, when we're not recording the podcast, it's like rankings list.
Okay.
My two, and I open the floor up to debates. I bring people up and, do some friendly debates. I'm not one of those that will completely belittle somebody if they have a favorite that I don't have.
Right.
Or whatever. It's all friendly.
Yeah.
And, I like to bring conversation up. So my two lists that are my like go-tos that get me the most amount of like interactions. I finally upped my WrestleMania list to my top 30 matches of all time
Oh,
for WrestleMania.
okay.
And then top 20 Hell in a Cell matches.
Mm.
And my Hell in a Cell one gets a lot of heat.
What's real quick, what's the number one on the list?
For Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
Undertaker, Triple H, WrestleMania 28. End of an
You
era.
know what? That one was good. That one was good. If
My number one and my number two are interchangeable. I could put one or the other at number one. My other one is Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Bad Blood 97.
because that was the first Hell in the Cell.
The very first with, in
And
my
that-
opinion, the greatest debut of all time.
Yeah, Kane. Yup.
Yep, the most badass debut of all time.
You know what? That actually might, those two matches, now that you mention it, they got to be in the top three for Hell in the Cell. I know number three got to be Undertaker and Mankind.
It is actually not on mine.
What? It's not on the list at all?
It's number 4.
Okay.
But my number 3 is CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Okay. That's that happened. Was it 20?
Bad Blood 24.
Okay, cool.
The reason why I don't have Undertaker and Mankind in the top 3 is because besides the 2 spots of Foley going off the side or through the cell, what else was a part of that match?
I'm trying to remember. You gotta refresh my memory.
We had a tack spot.
Oh yeah.
We did have a tack spot.
Yeah.
But there was no story really there. There was really no in-ring psychology.
Yeah.
Only thing that's taken away from that match was Foley's gonna kill him damn self.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't have it in the top 3, and I get a lot of shit for it.
And you know what? Because it's crazy because it's like I always say for anybody that's not like a real wrestling fan, that's just kind of like a casual fan, if you don't think wrestling is real, if you still one of them people that's claiming that it's fake, watch that Hell in the Cell match because nothing about that was part of the script or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
There are 2 people that I tell people to go back and watch whenever they give me the whole wrestling is fake propaganda. Either Mick Foley or Spike Dudley.
Okay. Were you talking about when he got flown when they threw him across the crowd or something like that in ECW?
Across the crowd. Whenever he was about to take a power bomb spot through a table against La Resistance on Monday Night Raw. And they were standing back a little too far, and his heels caught the top rope, and he just barely clipped his head off the side of a table.
You know what? I think I remember that. Yeah.
Spike was insane.
Yeah, and they used to throw him around like Spike was like 100 pounds, like 115, 105 soaking wet.
Spike was the living embodiment of a human ragdoll. And I say that with the utmost respect because I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, me neither. Real quick, we got one last comment from Braden. He said, Rambo, when we get Mike D on our show.
Let's set up a time. Let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. If not this year, we definitely, kick off 2026, with a guest appearance. I'm down whenever.
I am absolutely down. And we are getting ready to start guest appearances.
Okay.
I have a couple of names that I have confirmed for the podcast.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and share 2 of them now.
Oh, go ahead.
2 of them, well, one of them will happen in February. Another one, we're still waiting on a confirmed date, but I've been conversing back and forth with him recently. So we're still working on something out. But we've got Maven confirmed.
Oh, sweet.
And we've got Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, that's big. Hey, those are 2 big names right there. Congratulations.
We've got another one that I'm still trying to hammer down a date yet, but until we have like confirmation, I won't give it out too much yet. But
Hey,
it will be the biggest episode so far.
Hey, keep working on it, and when it's time to announce it, you know what I'm saying, share it out to the world.
I'm excited for
it. That's what's up. So Rambo, I appreciate you coming back on. You know,
I appreciate you having me back.
No problem, no problem. So before we get out of here, any shout outs, anything you want to plug, or let the people know where they can find you?
Of course. So you can find Squared Circle Sessions Wrestling Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Just go on there, type in Squared Circle Sessions, and should be one of the first things that pop up. Same thing on the other two platforms. My TikTok is just like my name is right here, Rambo Lott. I go live 3 times a week, sometimes 4, with just a whole host of different things. Sometimes I'm gaming, sometimes I'm just listening to music, chatting, sometimes we're opening debates with wrestling.
Okay.
And definitely want to send it out to my podcast crew because I couldn't do this alone. Hannah and Braden. I can't do this. I can't do this shit by myself.
That's what's up.
Nah, like as much as I can talk wrestling until I don't have a voice left. But I love the fact that I have other perspectives too.
Yeah, that's always cool too. That's always cool.
I'm always open to hearing somebody else's view of things. Right. And whenever I bring people up for a debate on my lives, I always tell them if they have some kind of crazy take or whatever, I always ask why. And I always say, I don't ask why because I'm disagreeing or I'm trashing your claim. I want to understand your thoughts behind it.
Definitely.
I'm always open to listening to it. And there has been times where people's claims have changed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always open to it.
Oh, yeah.
And, with the lives, with the podcast, we keep things like politics and religion and all that shit out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because those 2 topics in itself start more shit than anything on this planet.
You ain't lying.
I don't give a damn who you're for. We're talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
I've got who I'm for. You've got who you're for. That does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
We keep it completely. I tried to keep it a safe space for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're having a rough day or going through a rough time, I want you to come in, hang out, and kind of just forget about what's going on outside of it for a little bit and just come have fun, have a laugh. I'm always saying some stupid shit.
Hey, but you know what? Like you said, this with so much going on in the world, man, sometimes people need to just
a simple "How are you doing?" can change somebody's day.
That's true.
So if I can play just a small, minute part of changing somebody's outlook on their day, I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know what people are going through.
Yep. Hey,
people on the internet are too quick to be assholes and judge you from the second they see your name.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Yeah. Everybody deserves a chance to be heard out, to talk to. We may not see eye to eye on things. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're not all supposed to agree on everything. If we were, that should be boring.
Yep. Everybody having the same agreement on something, and it's just like, yeah, you're right. It would definitely be boring. For sure.
It would. So definitely come check us out over on the TikTok page. We're just here on Rambo Lott right now. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to make a Squared Circle Sessions page on TikTok. Once we get a little bit more of a following, I'm going to start doing that and posting clips and all that fun stuff. Sweet. But definitely come check us out. Come hang out. Even if it's just for 5-6 minutes, come say hey. I respond to everybody unless you say something stupid. and we just have fun.
Yeah, definitely. That's what's up. So before I get out of here, want to thank everybody who watched the show. Want to thank everyone who left a comment. Um, it's December. This is the last month of the year. Um, we got two episodes left before we take a little break going into 2026. Next week we got Chris CZ Wizard. He's gonna be coming on. We're gonna chop it up with him. And then we got a special episode in 2 weeks. We got Professor Bear, we got Joe Moreau, we got Sam from WSN. They usually come on. We come together. We're the main event roundtable where we just discuss wrestling topics. We're gonna have a special year in review episode that's gonna happen here on Wrestling from the 313. And then after that, we taking a 2 week break. For the rest of the year, we just gonna kick back, enjoy Christmas, and enjoy the new year. And then, probably around that time while I'm out, probably start putting out posts to get people on for 2026. So catch Wrestling from the 313 on Facebook. We are getting close to 1,000 followers on Facebook. TikTok, we're getting close to 800 followers on there. Instagram, we're a little bit over 300 on there, so that's cool. But definitely make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. The Wrestling from the 313 YouTube channel is always getting close to 7,200 subscribers. So
Let's go.
Hey,
go over there.
Hey, the goal for 2026 is to get to 10,000 subscribers. I know we can get there. Got to just get back on the grind and just put out all this wrestling content for sure.
As a good friend of mine that I've gotten the pleasure to work with a few times, as he's once said, if you don't go subscribe over to him, you're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. I digress.
Yeah, so definitely go ahead and subscribe to Wrestling from the 313. And also don't forget to subscribe to Square Circle Sessions. Don't forget to follow Rambo Lott on TikTok. And just, check them out. Check out their podcast. They, doing their thing. And they got some good stuff coming up too. So, good luck to you guys and everything you got going on.
Much appreciated.
And, no problem. And 2026, definitely try to have you on. Maybe have the whole crew on.
Let's do it.
Talk some wrestling or whatever. So yeah, big things for 2026 for Wrestling from the 313 and the Square Circle Sessions. So I'm your host, Mike D. Rambo Lott, Wrestling from the 313. We are out. See you next week.
Have a good one, guys.